All right, last night, the Senate passed a Congressional Review Act resolution to repeal the Biden administration's emergency temporary standard that forced businesses with 100 or more employees to mandate COVID vaccinations or testing and masking. Now, two Democratic senators, Joe Manchin of West Virginia and Jon Tester of Montana, joined all 50 Republicans in voting for the formal challenge to the president's mandate. It now needs to pass the Democratic-controlled House, where all 212 Republicans have co-sponsored the House version of the resolution. Joining me now to tell us what's ahead for this resolution is Harris Alic. He's a Capitol Hill reporter for the Washington Times. Alic, welcome back to Harris. Welcome back to Washington Watch.
Thank you so much for having me on, Tony. It's wonderful to be with you today. This resolution, as we saw last night, got 52 votes in the Senate. Two moderate Democrats, Jon Tester and Joe Manchin of West Virginia, crossed over and actually voted for this thing. And I mean, it's very, very difficult, I think, as someone who's followed politics, to see Senator Manchin and Senator Tester vote with all 50 Republicans and not have to be taken back and realize this is a very, very big issue. And it's also probably an issue that is significantly unpopular because, as we know, Senator Tester and Senator Manchin, God bless their hearts, they're not ones to necessarily always break party lines. They only do so if the issue is really pressing and if it's something that's going to significantly impact their constituents and is so politically unpopular. We saw this with the Kavanaugh hearings, and we're seeing it again now with this vaccine mandate. And this measure now goes over the House, where, as you said, 212 Republicans have co-sponsored a discharge petition, a petition that would essentially force this bill to the floor if House Speaker Nancy Pelosi does not want to bring it up herself. As of right now, they need about 5 Democrats to sign on to this petition. They have about a month, just because of the way the House procedures end up working. They wouldn't be able to bring this legislation to the floor until January 4th or January 5th, which I don't know about you, but I know a lot of people are going to be home for the holidays. A lot of these congressmen are going to be home for the holidays. They're going to be hearing about this issue from their constituents, specifically as most of these mandates really start coming into effect. They've only been eased in certain industries as of right now, but starting in early January, they're going to be effective for most of the country, provided the courts don't issue any further stays. And this is going to be really problematic. I mean, I'm talking to Republican congressmen, I'm talking to labor organizations, I'm talking to trade organizations and business groups who are hearing from their constituents, hearing from their members every single day, who are saying that this is something they're deathly afraid of. And most people who oppose these mandates are not anti-vaccine. Most of them have, obviously have their booster shots. Most of them have been vaccinated, but they oppose the idea that their jobs could be taken away from them simply because they choose not to be vaccinated. It's kind of funny because President Biden obviously has been the Amtrak president, or he sold himself as the Amtrak president. But today, Amtrak CEO testified in front of the House Transportation Committee, and he said they're going to start cutting services to certain lines simply because of the fact that 1,200 of their employees are not vaccinated. That's potentially 1,200 people who are going to lose their jobs because of a vaccine mandate being implemented by the so-called Amtrak president, Tony.
So, Harris, let me ask you this question. Is this more than a symbolic vote, given the uphill climb in the House? The fact that, as you said, many of these members are going to be back in their districts, so they're going to be hearing from their constituents during the holidays.
Absolutely. I mean, look, this obviously faces very, very long odds in the House. House Democrats have a way of sticking together more so than Senate Democrats do. But I think more than that, I mean, what we saw last night was we saw 52% of the, 52 members of the Senate rebuke a sitting president for his vaccine mandate. Even if this issue doesn't come to a head in the House, it's something that has obviously galvanized so many people to even come up with the CRA vote. I mean, the Congressional Review Act has only been invoked in so many instances. Obviously, people can say, well, if this doesn't end up passing the House, the president's going to veto it, and that's probably going to end up being the case. But I think, as Senator John Hoeven said yesterday, it would be a very, very powerful rebuke of the president and his vaccine mandate if both houses of Congress, decided to invoke this. Decided to invoke the CRA and overturn this mandate by a bipartisan margin. The very, very fact that, again, Senator Manchin and Senator Tester broke party lines shows just how significantly unpopular this mandate is as of right now.
I think you're absolutely right. It's going to be fascinating to watch. Harris, thanks so much for joining us. Always great to talk with you.
Always a pleasure, Tony. Thank you so much for having me on.